And this one features Josh Jacobs. He's coming off a track meet kind of week. Just a bunch of yards and frequent trips to the end zone. It's the Raiders and the Bills, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 24.
Oh, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you get a look inside Rocket Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's another typical season for Jimmy G last year. When he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interceptions. Then the injury bug bit again. But Las Vegas, they're counting on him being able to do the exact same thing they saw in San Francisco, but avoiding injury while doing so.
Now the NFL's leading rusher a season ago, Josh Jacobs. And how about the quick feet there as he made a man miss on his way to a solid gain of 7. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him and feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He gets this to Davante Adams. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 46. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. 12 more yards there and another first down.
After a 100-catch, 1,000-yard season 2021, Renfro's follow-up season was a major disappointment. Injuries and offensive changes kept him to just 330 yards, so hopefully the fan favorite can return to Pro Bowl form and be the type of chain mover he was on that grab.
Down inside the 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Davante Adams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
And that flag accepted. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here we see the Bills offense take the field here at quarterback, Josh Allen.
And it just feels like Allen has the Bills on the cusp of something great. Another 13-win season last year, and they're officially perennial favorites in the AFC. Behind that effort, continued excellence from one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a man who began with the Raiders, it's Latavius Murray. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. We take a peek at the list of inactives for this week's game. And gosh, this early in the season, Charles, injuries already accumulating for this squad.
You got to wonder in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we're just getting them out of the way early so we can make a late season push when we have everyone back. It certainly feels that way with the number of injuries they've had already.
Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that is incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Back-to-back incompletions, and what was once a nice drive stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Allen going to go on 4th down. He'll take a shot for Davis to the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. It's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On play action, now Garoppolo. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That's Matt Milano firing in from his linebacker position.
Okay, my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And award that sack to Boogie Basham.
Now, that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Deontay Hardy back deep. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. He'll take it at the 42. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now Allen. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. And he rifles one incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Now the new pickup from New England. This is Damian Harris. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
That was a good explosive run right there, and it brings up an interesting little dilemma, doesn't it? 4th and inches, got to decide what they want to do now. Not sure they expected to be in this situation with what they were facing on 3rd down.
They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. On 1st down, Allen will find Gabriel Davis. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. From the 20, here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Allen to throw it. This to the tight end, Kincaid. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there,
touchdown Bills! Stephon Diggs with career touchdown number 60. And the Bills are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Allen will try to throw for it. Steps away to his left. And it's caught. He's got it. So they go for 2. They convert, and along with it, they'll take an 8-7 lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Myers. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Holding offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. Hunter Renfrow is the man he was looking for. And it's 2nd down. When you look at this Buffalo defense, they're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be #1 and be the top of your...
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Gregory Rousseau. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
He continues, Charles, to be on. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to.
2nd quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give up the gut for Murray. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
The Bills at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They get the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the 1st. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. On play action, Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now we look now at their selections from this last draft, and Charles, one thing that they were just unanimous in telling us is that they had their eyes on certain guys. They didn't think that they would get all of them. They feel like they pretty much got everyone that they wanted. That's a rarity.
They never tipped their hand to the rest of the league either, Brandon, because what they did was they had the guys that they targeted, kept it close to the vest. They did have a few tense moments in the draft when they're waiting for those guys to fall to them because they really didn't go after them. And that's part of the allure of the draft to so many viewers. Chess matches playing out between 32 teams. And this one, they feel like they got a checkmate on this one.
Working with a lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Trucks over him. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard. Maybe a touch less.
Allen going to throw.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Well, he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. And they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Latavius Murray. scoring a touchdown against his former mates as his guys are able to extend their lead.
He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. That's to the veteran tight end, Austin Hooper.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Garoppolo to throw.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Here we go.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Play action. Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up. The big fella. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And the lead is up to 15 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10
At their own 23.
out of the gun. He'll throw.
He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
Here we go.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Defense.
So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, He's got second and third down to fall back on.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. And he finds Howard complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Now Garoppolo. Pass taken in by Mayer. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good, and they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Damian Harris and the Bills headed back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. That is caught. Kincaid with it. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
At the 46-yard line.
On play action, Allen. And his throw here is incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Hardy set to return. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Offense returns to the field. There's the running back, the bruiser from Alabama, Damian Harris. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock.
He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he's got room. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 78 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Allen. Buying time to his left. This is caught. It's Hardy. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get out. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To the air, Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Allen now on the sneak. So he gets absolutely nothing out of that sneak, and now it's 4th down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 4th and goal.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Bass is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a...
Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Deontay Hardy. It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Buffalo.
It's all about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talk about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
2nd and 5 at the 36-yard line.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones,
They have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spotted it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Bills getting set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. This a quick pass to Davis. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just got to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
Jacobs going to try the middle. Oh, good move. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
That is caught at the 7.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Here's Jacobs. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
to throw. It's Garoppolo. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
They'll try to run it with Jacobs, and he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off, as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. On is the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line, as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Bills to take over. They were winners over the Jets a week ago, and they are in the driver's seat right now as well. Allen going to fire quickly and get it to Diggs out wide. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Throw left side to Kincaid. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. They hand this off to Harris. Oh, he put him on the carpet and fumble. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So potentially a turning point here in the 3rd quarter as that swings the door back open just a bit.
Yeah, they're still down 2 scores, but I do think we're at that point in the game where you're going to reach for the football whenever possible. You're going to hear the coaches scream from the sidelines, tackle him, 2nd guy in, tackle the ball.
And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Matt Milano able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Well, throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. On the return, Hardy. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bills ready to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play here for Buffalo. 52 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, Murray. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Allen off the play fake. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the 4th quarter. Operating from the red zone now. Allen being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Flushed out right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sets up a 3rd down and 18.
They run with Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. The kick by Bass is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that's complete to Adams. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. There's Garoppolo to throw. And he floated one out there incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To the right side, here's Mayer.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a 2nd defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Over the middle, he's got Myers.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And he is going to have a Raiders first down on a big play there. A gain of 14 on what was a 4th and 10. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Milano. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it.
Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, even a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Running free at the 45. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll toss to Harris. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. Down to about the 22 here. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On play action, Allen. Did he get the feet down? Yes! Touchdown! Dalton Kincaid. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills are on their way to a 2-0 start. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. And the touchdown apparently wasn't enough. They're going to go for the onside kick here. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Garoppolo now. And he wisely will throw that one away. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Able to hit his target, it's Mayer. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And the Las Vegas first down.
Garoppolo. It gets it right back to Mayer. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the Bills' 26-yard line.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 13-yard line.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Working with a 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And when you break it down, you know, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You know, you just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done.